Hi, this is community outreach librarian like Jay Dubensky. You can find me on YouTube and Patreon at a librarian Dubensky or at a librarian Dubensky 8801 on YouTube. And you can also search for me on Patreon, YouTube librarian on Patreon. And I'm here to do some children's programming while sitting at uh, the wonderful seating arrangements they have for children's programming here at Bathroom Homes. And yesterday, I set up 3 video game experiences anyway using a mobile phone. I got to play Assassin's Creed Odd Origins, and on my Sony 2022 TV, I got to play a car game, and on a tablet, I got to read a video game. So I got to 3 good games, but I had some serious problems with Amazon Luna. For example, my controller wouldn't cloud connect by pressing the Luna button. It wouldn't connect by C cable, and when it didn't connect by C cable, C to C cable, I noticed that my Amazon Fire tablet disabled transferring data from instead of, and just wants to allow for charging. It's also not responding to a direct connection to the modem. And the reason why that's important is because sometimes when I'm working with Luna, it suggests that I'm having network problems. And the only way to solve it when you have a 5.0 GHz internet Wi-Fi connection is to switch to a 50 or greater Mbps. And it doesn't have to be 50, but that's what I have. Between 50 to 150, depending on who is providing the unit of measurement, without calling Astound by RCN to find out what they determined my actual download speeds are. So it's not responding to a direct Type 2 cable connection from the modem. It's not allowing me to just to switch from charging to data transfer, and it didn't connect the controller either, even by cloud gaming. That doesn't happen all of the time, but this is not unusual to have these patterns of behavior. The other thing is, I had my other tablet, I had a Blacknet Cloud Gaming, and I should have been able to also connect a USB port cable to a Type-C connection onto my second Android tablet, and that Android tablet also disabled file transfer, thereby making it impossible to project the screen using a projector. That projector was able to connect by HDMI connection to an Xbox and produce the projected image. But if both Android tablets disable file transfer, then I can't do certain things with it. Like, I can't connect the controller easily by C to C cable. I can't connect the tablet to a projector. So that was really disappointing yesterday. But that's not unusual. I call that, I think that it was actually the CEO of Nintendo who wrote a memoir, and he calls it disruptive technology. That means that I suspect that video games are problem producers. they're involved in the intentional production of problems and possibly even disappointment, which is counterintuitive. So I want to confirm what the CEO of Nintendo claimed on the cover of his memoirs. I also believe that video games are an example of a disruptive technology. Disruptive technology produces problems and disappointment intentionally, thereby interfering with your normal gameplay. Did it work out for video games? Yeah, because of the mobile gaming market, they might get to billions of dollars off of a couple of bucks. For example, today I bought Bob's Burgers, a pinball machine, $2. But if it's true that video game on my mobile phone is as good as it gets for a video game, and 1 billion people get into video games, that's $2 billion. Or if I buy Grand Theft Auto for $6, Grand Theft Auto is one of the most popular video games. If everybody wants to play one of the most popular video games, that's $6 billion. Or if I bought the car game from my Sony TV, that's $5. If everybody who bought a TV bought one game, that's $5 billion. So the mobile gaming market is potentially very lucrative. The video game industry was successful, even though it was practicing disruptive technology. But to some extent, if you look up the numbers on Wikipedia for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, you'll find out something really unusual. Yes, God of War and Halo made it to 3 million sales. But Gran Turismo and Forza made it to 1 to 2 million in sales. That's nothing, but in a global market of 8 billion people. So, if Wikipedia is true, if those are our only, if that's the best information we have, then they weren't successful with disruptive technologies at the video game console level. On the other hand, GameStop may have 14,000 jobs available for high school graduates. And to the extent in which Dave & Buster's is recruiting and GameStop is hiring and Target has a good collection of video games, they haven't failed either. Okay, so I'm here to do some children's programming, and that means I'm going to read out loud. First, I'm going to work with Pokemon, the complete Pokemon Pocket Guide. This one's called Can You Believe It? I just opened it up. Hitmonchan and Lickitung. Hitmonchan is an example of a punching Pokemon, fighting type, abilities, keen eyes, and iron fist. It's a 4-footer, 7-inch Pokemon, weighing an outstanding 110.7 pounds. Hitmonchan's corkscrew punches are strong enough to destroy concrete and might seem like it's standing still, but it's actually throwing punches too fast to be seen with the naked eye. Special moves: Vacuum Wave, Sky Uppercut, Counter. Hitmonchan derived from the Tyrogu, and it has a national Pokedex number of 107. If you have the word hit in your title and CHA, you could do pretty good as a Pokemon these days. So it looks like a brown-skinned Pokemon with a contemporary hairdo, a scowl on the face, and a kind of a feminine-looking outfit. And Lickitung as well. If you can derive lick and tune from from the word, it could also be a popular Pokemon in 2023, even if you aren't familiar with Hitmonchan or Lickitung. Lickitung is an example of a licking Pokemon, while Hitmonchan was an example of a punching Pokemon. Type normal, abilities own tempo oblivious, height 3'11", weight 144.4 pounds. This Pokemon looks like a normal Pokemon, but it has a huge tongue. It's a kind of a chubby little Pokemon with a huge tongue. And Lickitung ended up producing the Lickilicky, which has a big belly. Its tongue can extend twice as long as Lickitung is tall. The tongue is as dexterous as a hand, and its slimy saliva can make anything stick to it. Special moves, Lick, Stomp, Route. National Pokedex number 108. I hope you enjoyed being introduced to Lickitung and Hitmonchan, two Pokemon from the Complete Pokemon Pocket Guide. Elementary School, GV 1467.35.P63C663, 2017, Volume 1, at the Independence branch of the Chicago Public Library. And by the way, the Independence branch of the Chicago Public Library is a gorgeous new library, and it features indoor staircase seating, which is quite interesting for lounging. That means that I could do this children's programming in bad weather at the Independence branch of the Chicago Public Library without even being a librarian. But I am. Here's Portkey Games Hogwarts Legacy, the official game guide, and it should cost $14.99, but I paid the Canadian price of $19.99. And it has I think it has a 2023 copyright. So this is from the ending, the final repository. After instructions are received from the keepers in the map chamber, the floor melts away to reveal the final repository. Together with Professor Fig, you enter the keeper's caverns hidden beneath Hogwarts. Straightway, a goblin drill machine crashes into view. You race to claim the repository, fighting high-ranking loyalists, most protected by shields. Another drill penetrates the cavern, which Professor Fig uses his magic to throw aside. Goblin craftsmanship is remarkable, most of the time admirable, but under Ranrock's order, such artistry is misused. His drill machines are monstrous. And you see how gorgeous the book is? $14.95. I would recommend possibly skipping the $60, $70 game and listening to the soundtrack on Spotify. The harder they fall, help from Professor Fig is gratefully received as you topple this towering, raging duo. Fig engages one troll while you duel against another. Two armored trolls occupy the next rocky arena with fast-moving loyalists and support. Tackle the smaller, weaker foes first. Take the trolls one at a time. Your ancient magic perception shows a way forward, where more loyalists present a stiffer challenge. After pushing through, you emerge into a colossal cavern where the Hogwarts professors join the fray. You have never witnessed such strength from the kindly, usually reserved faculty. You continue to do your part, preventing goblins from storming the repository. When a section of cavern collapses, forming a bridge, it leads directly to the repository threshold. The power of the ancient magic wand deck is revealed. It's time to face Ranrock. This is Fortnite. Fortnite is very popular right now. It's being highly recommended. And I needed this book myself to figure out the main point of the game, which is to build a fort. And how do you do that? You have to cut down the trees or the buildings to get wood. I didn't know that that was what I was supposed to use the axe for. Why? Because there's bad weather in Fortnite. There could be a storm, so you have to get out. In order to continue playing the game, you might have to enter into a fort. And I didn't know that before I read this book. Can you believe it? Playing Fortnite. Scope your surroundings. Even if you think you've never landed in a secluded area, never presume you're on your own. It's possible someone may have spotted you landing and set up position to take you out after you've collected loot. Listen for footsteps and the sound of gunshots. Then start to make your move. Build up materials. Be it wood, brick, or metal, you'll need materials from the outset. Jumping around is fine, but opponents, especially in big cities, will eventually pick you off if you've got nothing else. Remember, building is key for both defensive and offensive strategies. Ramp up, then rush. Pick up your battles. Early in the game, try not to be too fixated on a player you've exchanged shots with. Sometimes the rush isn't worth the fight, especially if there's a chance they're better equipped than you. Moving on and leaving an enemy hanging is hugely satisfying if they're sitting in a house waiting for you. Loot wisely. It's easy to get carried away with scooping up a shiny new arsenal, but loot leading early isn't necessary. Grab basic essentials, enough materials to build 1 to 2 weapons and a healing option, and proceed. You'll find plenty more elsewhere, mostly when you eliminate enemies. A bonus. Arrange your inventory. Quickly switch between weapons in the heat of battle. Stick to a shotgun, SMG, and sniper rifle, then experiment with different combos. Regularly reload. Even after one fire, it can be the difference between an elimination or being eliminated. And never run rogue with a pickaxe. Bite the bullet. While playing with caution is key, you'll eventually be itching to test yourself in true 1v1 combat. Just remember that patience is a key component for success in Fortnite. Sometimes you'll be camped for a good 5 minutes before drawing an enemy out. Don't be the first to buckle. Just remember that patience is a key component for success in Fortnite. Sometimes you'll be camped for a good 5 minutes before drawing an enemy out. So that might be the best advice from the 100% unofficial Fortnite guide. And I want you to see over here, this is our local wood shop here at Lathrop Homes. And I got an estimate for 1, 5, and 10 bookcases for a public housing reading room here. As a renter here, I get a very good price on maker spaces if I have a non-for-profit community use motivation as low as $150 a month and no more than $400 a month. So I thought that I might start up a library as a American Library Association accredited holder of an MLIS degree. And so this wood shop here called the Blue Stem gave me a quote for 1, 5, and 10 bookcases. And so I contacted the National Public Housing Museum and the Junior Library League and Lathrop Homes to see if they were interested. I may even follow up by contacting Related Midwest to see if they have a little bit of money for support for something like that. I would be done at this point, but I got a comic book from my membership with the Junior Library League. When I was younger, I would have preferred doing the Great Books Foundation junior book series, but there was an ad in Library Journal for the Junior Library League, and they gave me this comic book, and I got a sticker to put on the comic book. So let's read the ending of the comic book. This comic book is a bit controversial. it features Superman kissing what looks like a boy, to be honest with you. And so I think it's got a really good cover design, kind of a retro cover design. But I haven't decided yet whether I approve of Superman kissing a boy in the comic book. You see? You see? So I don't know if that's okay. So here's how it ends. Mr. Bendix, I'm sorry, sir, we lost the ambassador and we lost our cargo. How? Superman, I hit him. I know I did, but he was too powerful. That's frustrating, but he won't be too powerful for much longer. None of them will. The rising is about to begin. Superman, shouldn't Batman be interrogating this guy right now? Maybe that's why there are movies about like Batman versus Superman. I mean, you could end up having a battle. Like I can imagine that a superhero would be like upset that Superman was kissing a boy and decide to fight a Superman for more than just sporting blue and red on as a suit. I never understood the battles between the superheroes in the movies, and so I could see why Batman might fight Superman for more than not wearing black. Okay, well, thank you very much. This was YouTube librarian on Patreon, Mike J. Dabensky at Lathrop Homes.